Why male dominance is an abuse of authority and how to handle it. Introduction. Gender dynamics have long been a focal point of social discourse, with particular attention given to the pervasive issue of male dominance over women. This imbalance of power not only undermines the principles of equality and fairness, but also constitutes a fundamental abuse of authority. Understanding the roots and ramifications of male dominance is essential for fostering healthier, more equitable relationships and societies. Moreover, empowering women to navigate and challenge domineering behavior without compromising their integrity is crucial for personal well-being and societal progress. This discussion delves into why male dominance over women is an abuse of authority and explores effective strategies women can employ to address and overcome such challenges while maintaining their self-respect and values. Male dominance over women is an abuse of authority because it disregards the inherent equality of all human beings and perpetuates power imbalances that devalue women's autonomy, dignity, and human rights. Here are some key points to consider. Fundamental inherent human equality. All people, regardless of gender, possess intrinsic worth and should be treated with equal respect and rights. Male dominance enforces a system where one gender is seen as superior, which contradicts the principle of equality that underpins human rights. By asserting control or superiority over women, men abuse their authority, treating women as lesser beings instead of equals. Violation of autonomy. Male dominance strips women of their autonomy, confining them to roles or behaviors based on patriarchal expectations rather than individual choice. This kind of control can manifest in economic, social, and political spheres, denying women the freedom to make decisions about their own lives. By assuming authority over women's choices, men violate their right to self-determination, a fundamental aspect of human dignity. Perpetuation of harmful stereotypes. Male dominance is often rooted in harmful gender stereotypes that portray men as naturally superior or more capable, while women are depicted as weak or submissive. These stereotypes not only limit women's opportunities, but also reinforce an abusive cycle, as societal structures and institutions may continue to uphold these norms, further restricting women's roles and contributions. Exploitation of power dynamics. In many cases, male dominance relies on an abuse of power within familial, professional, or political contexts. Men who exert dominance often exploit institutional and social structures that give them authority, such as traditional gender roles, cultural norms, or even legal systems. This exploitation creates an environment where women may feel powerless to challenge their oppression or abuse, leading to a sense of dependency or fear. Psychological and physical harm. Abuse of authority through male dominance can lead to emotional, psychological, and physical harm for women. In many societies, male-dominated systems have led to widespread issues like domestic violence, coercive control, and the marginalization of women's voices. By exerting control, men can use their dominance to manipulate or harm women, often with little accountability, thus creating cycles of abuse that are hard to break. Suppression of potential and opportunity. When male dominance prevails, it suppresses the potential of women by denying them equal access to education, career opportunities, and political participation. The unequal distribution of authority leads to fewer opportunities for women to thrive and contribute to society. This also impoverishes society at large, as half of the population's talents, ideas, and leadership potential go underutilized. Historical and cultural precedents. Male dominance has historical and cultural roots, but those roots were often established in eras of unequal power distribution and social injustice. Just because such dynamics were prevalent in the past doesn't justify their continuation. To sustain such practices today is to cling to outdated systems that serve the interests of a few at the expense of many. Ethical and spiritual considerations. Many ethical and spiritual traditions teach that true authority should be exercised with compassion, respect, and a sense of service to others. Male dominance over women violates these principles by distorting leadership into a form of control rather than collaboration or mutual empowerment. Abuse of authority erodes trust and love, creating an environment of subjugation rather than harmony. In some, male dominance over women constitutes an abuse of authority because it denies women their rights, autonomy, and equality, leading to broader social harm, suppression of potential, and violation of ethical principles. True leadership and authority should be based on mutual respect, collaboration, and the empowerment of all individuals, regardless of gender. Dealing with male dominance. Dealing with a man who seeks to dominate without compromising one's integrity requires a combination of assertiveness, emotional intelligence, and maintaining strong boundaries. Here are strategies that can empower a woman to navigate such situations while staying true to herself. Establish clear boundaries. Setting firm boundaries is essential when dealing with dominating behavior. A woman can define what she finds acceptable and unacceptable, ensuring her values and needs are respected. Communicating these boundaries clearly and assertively, without aggression, helps to create mutual understanding. For example, calmly stating, "I value equal partnership and won't tolerate controlling behavior," draws a line without creating conflict. Assertive communication. Maintaining integrity involves asserting one's rights and feelings in a way that is direct but respectful. Rather than avoiding confrontation or becoming passive, a woman can speak up when she feels her autonomy is being threatened. Using I statements, like "I feel disrespected when you make decisions for me," ensures that she is expressing her needs without blaming or escalating the situation. Stay emotionally grounded. Domineering individuals may attempt to manipulate emotions, either through intimidation, guilt, or subtle forms of control. A key strategy is staying emotionally grounded and centered, which allows a woman to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively. Practicing mindfulness, meditation, or even taking a pause before responding helps in maintaining inner calm and clarity. Leverage emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence enables a woman to navigate interactions with a man who seeks dominance by understanding the emotions driving his behavior. Recognizing insecurity, fear of losing control, or traditional gender expectations in the man's actions allows her to respond with empathy, but without surrendering her position. This insight can diffuse situations and help her make strategic decisions about how to engage. Reinforce equality in the relationship. A woman can consistently emphasize the importance of equality in her relationships. This doesn't mean confronting dominance head-on in a combative way, but rather reinforcing through her actions and words that she views relationships as partnerships. She can model shared decision-making, collaborative communication, and mutual respect in everyday interactions. Over time, this approach can influence a man's perspective. Know when to walk away. Integrity means standing firm in one's values, even if it means walking away from a situation that compromises those values. If a man refuses to respect boundaries or persists in controlling behavior, a woman must evaluate whether the relationship aligns with her self-respect and personal principles. Knowing when to leave or when to disengage from a power struggle is critical to preserving her dignity and well-being. Seek support and counsel. Sometimes it is helpful for a woman to seek support from trusted friends, family, or professionals, such as counselors or coaches. This external perspective can provide validation, guidance, and strategies for dealing with domination without compromising one's integrity. Additionally, it helps her feel less isolated in the situation and reinforces her confidence in addressing the issue. Don't fall into counterdominance. Responding to dominance with attempts to dominate in return can erode integrity. Instead, maintaining her own principles of respect, equality, and compassion demonstrates strength and conviction. While it's crucial to stand up for herself, a woman should avoid adopting controlling tactics herself, as that would conflict with her desire to live with integrity. Use the power of silence. Sometimes silence can be a powerful tool when dealing with a dominant man. Instead of responding immediately to attempts to control, taking a step back and giving space can shift the power dynamic. Silence provides a moment for reflection, helping to avoid reactive engagement, while also signaling that she will not be manipulated or intimidated into quick decisions. Redirect the conversation. If a man is attempting to dominate through conversation, especially by monopolizing it or dismissing her input, a woman can redirect the conversation to a more balanced space. For example, she might calmly say, "I hear your point, but I'd like us both to have a say in this decision," or, "It's important that my perspective is also considered." Redirecting in this way asserts her presence and contribution without escalating conflict. Focus on self-worth and confidence. A strong sense of self-worth and confidence can serve as a buffer against attempts to dominate. By investing in personal growth and self-care, a woman can cultivate inner strength that makes it harder for anyone to undermine her. When a woman knows her value, she is less likely to tolerate disrespect and more capable of standing up for herself without feeling guilt or fear. Call out the behavior respectfully. At times, a man who seeks to dominate may not fully realize the impact of his behavior. A woman can address the issue directly, using respectful language to explain how the behavior affects her. For instance, when you try to make decisions for me, I feel disempowered, and that's not the type of partnership I want. This approach can open up dialogue and potentially lead to a shift in behavior without compromising integrity. Cultivate a sense of humor. In certain situations, humor can be used to diffuse tensions and subtly communicate disapproval of dominating behavior. For example, responding to an attempt at control with lighthearted wit, like, "Are you trying to be the boss of me?" can highlight the imbalance without confrontation, shifting the dynamic in a playful yet assertive way. Stand firm in values. A woman can draw strength from her core values, knowing that she doesn't have to sacrifice them to appease others. Whether it's equality, mutual respect, or personal autonomy, staying true to these values helps ensure that she navigates the relationship from a place of integrity. This internal compass guides her actions and decisions, allowing her to address domination without losing herself in the process. Conclusion. In conclusion, dealing with a man who seeks to dominate can be challenging, but with a combination of assertiveness, emotional intelligence, clear boundaries, and self-respect, a woman can maintain her integrity while advocating for equality and fairness in the relationship. By choosing responses that align with her values, she can assert her autonomy without resorting to dominance herself. Male dominance over women represents a significant abuse of authority that perpetuates inequality, restricts personal autonomy, and inflicts both psychological and physical harm. By recognizing and addressing the underlying power imbalances and societal norms that sustain this dominance, we can work towards a more just and equitable world. Equipping women with strategies to assert their boundaries, communicate effectively, and maintain their integrity is vital in combating oppressive behaviors. Ultimately, fostering environments that respect and uphold gender equality not only benefits individuals, but also enriches communities and societies as a whole. Embracing these principles of mutual respect and empowerment paves the way for healthier relationships and a more harmonious world where everyone can thrive without the constraints of unjust authority.